wonder where I've been. I searched to find the love within. I came back to let you know, got a thing for you, and I can't let it go. My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in the daze from your love, you see.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy. I don't know why, but I was feeling a little Bobby. I had to break that out a little bit. Boom. You guys don't know about this. Young Bucks don't know about this. Had to break it out. I was feeling that. And if you're feeling me, smash that like.
What you won't do.
I was feeling that, boy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Rico Report. Brought to you by the Buffalo Fanatics. Let's go. Some of you guys are going to feel this. And for those that are like, what is this stuff, man? Move out of here. What's happening, baby? Let's go. Folks, the Bills are up to, I guess they're doing some work. Slowly doing some work, but we're getting there. For those that are feeling that, let me turn that back up a little bit. I'm feeling that.
I came back to let you know.
Let's go, folks. All right, let me bring that down. Folks, the Bills are up to it again. This time with a big time signing, at least for me, at least for those that are invested in the running back position, like I am, because I haven't been fulfilled with that running back position. We're truly satisfied. I don't know, since LaShawn McCoy. And even before LaShawn McCoy, we've always had a stable of backs where you can count on them. They can be a difference maker in the game, right? After LaShawn, it's pretty much been, all right, okay. But the big difference, obviously, is that we haven't had a franchise quarterback. So we've always had to lean on the run game, lean on everything else but the quarterback. So now that we have a quarterback, it's like, the running back position is whatever. You know what I mean? So it's I'm not saying this fulfills my personal, like, okay, we got something there, but we're moving in the right direction. So ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have been sleeping under a rock, wake up. The Bills have signed Damien Harris, former Patriot running back Damien Harris, that has been a thorn in our side anytime he plays us. And now he will be donning a Bills jersey. And how weird is it? Because this reminds you, free agency is a funny game, because it brings you back to remind folks that, and this is not just fans like myself and yourself, but players themselves, reminds you very quickly that this is a business. This is a business. You go 3 years, you're facing your rivals, if you will, and I wouldn't say hating your rivals, but it's a rival. Anytime that the Bills play the Patriots, you get up for it. You know what I'm saying? You ready to nut and buck. And my guy, Damien Harris, comes through, and he'll be donning a Bills jersey. And according to PFF, it's like this guy gets up to play the Bills. He gets up to play the Bills. I mean, anytime that he's played the Bills, the guy, he has a solid PFF rating. Knock it off already. You know what I mean? Anytime that the Bills needed to play the Patriots, it was all right. We know it's going to be a dogfight, because Harris is going to get his, Ramondre Stevens is going to get his. So it's always going to be that type of dogfight. So welcome to the Bills, Damien Harris. The real question is, what does he bring to the Bills? Now, it brings us back, because in with the new, out with the old. Well, my guy, Devin Singletary, has departed the Bills. We knew this was coming. This is not a shock. And I'm glad he got picked up. It would have saddened me if he didn't get picked up until late, or whatever the case is. But he got picked up on a 1-year deal for about $3.75 million to the Houston Texans. So he'll be sharing the backfield once again with will be their second-year player in Pierce. and which is a damn good running back over there in Houston. What a pick that they decided to grab. They grabbed a really good one in Pierce. So salute to Devin Singletary. Now I can't just kind of do a quick farewell to Devin Singletary. It doesn't work that way because you got to give this guy love. And Devin Singletary has been a professional right from jump, always humble, always did his job. You can count on Devin Singletary. You can actually count on Devin Singletary. He's dependable, reliable. At his smaller frame, he worked on although height and stature, not a very big guy, but he worked on his frame because he knows the rigors of the NFL. He knows the rigors of the NFL. You saw what he did a couple years back where he just jacked up one summer because he knows that he's about to get that work. And Devin Singletary came into the league with Papa Gore. Frank Gore was leading the way. And his rookie season at 5'7", over 200 pounds, my man ran for 100, like over 700 yards rushing as a rookie running back. We're like, okay, we may have found a gem in Devin Singletary. Although I'm not saying he's not a gem. He is a gem, but just didn't become too bright of a gem for us that we needed. But dependable, serviceable, reliable. He did his damn job, right? And Frank Gore obviously departs, and Devin Singletary takes over as a role, but then we bring in, obviously, Zach Moss, right? And the amount of running backs that we've brought in to help with the run game, and Devin Singletary shielded everybody off. You can come here, you can try to take my job, but it's going to be very difficult for you to do it. And he held his own right up until the end. I really wish that he would have got a 1,000-yard season with us. It would have been cool. Last year would have definitely been the year to do that, but we were sitting here bullshitting around. But for the most part, class act. My man Z-Bot and I, we met with him this past summer, and we had a chance to chop it up with him. If you haven't seen the interview, just type in Devin Singletary Buffalo Fanatics. Go ahead and check that interview. It was dope. And one of the questions I asked him, like we got a lot of dogs on this team. And if I were to tell you what kind of dog, like what kind of dog are you? My man said the Cane Corso. I said, that's a beautiful dog, man. You know what I mean? I had to look that thing up. I was like, oh, that's a nice dog. That's a good looking dog. But salute to Devin Singletary. Listen, man, good luck to you in Houston. I'm going to be rooting for you for sure. Any Bill, I'm sure you guys all feel the same way. Any Buffalo Bill that you like, that you've respected, right? Anytime they go somewhere, you want to root for them. Jerry Hughes, I was rooting for Jerry Hughes. I like Jerry Hughes. I was rooting for him. He did really well. And the Houston Texans saw something in Jerry Hughes, and Jerry Hughes was like, yo, go get my mans. I don't know what happened, but they brought him over there, and I'm looking forward to seeing Devin Singletary do some really good things in Houston. So salute to Devin Singletary, my guy. And listen, man, all the best to you, my guy. All the best to you. Now, Damien Harris. What does Damien Harris bring to the Bills? Well, it goes beyond that, because the type of running back that you need in this NFL is one that's got the size to take on the blocks, to take on the hits that you're going to constantly get. You've got to be smart enough to be able to play multiple positions, potentially. I'll put you out in slot. I'll make you go out and catch the football, right? You got to pass protect. You got to know your pass pros. Like, there's a lot of things that you've got to do as a running back. And that's why I feel like they're disrespected with the type of pay that they get, because A, I got to set the pace. B, I got to protect my quarterback. I also got to be a receiver. They're undervalued. They're undervalued. And I'll always be a champion for the running back position, or champion for the running back position. I'll tell you that right now, because they're undervalued. But there's so many of them. They're a dime a dozen. Well, I'll tell you, man. I have my reasoning before about why I love me a running back, but specifically what we need for this team as a running back is the ones that are the big, the burly, the ones that can take the hits, and the ones that can pass pro, and the ones that can go between the tackles. Now, we drafted a running back in James Cook last year. We know what James Cook brings to the table. Smaller frame RB, about 190 pounds, but pure speed, right? This size here is good. It's good for a few traits in this game, right? getting out in the pass, going out, getting deep, doing what you got to do to get open, free in space. And if you give him a crack, he's gone. He's a smaller frame guy. So you need a complement. You need a complement to your smaller frame guy. So let me back it up a little bit. When Devin Singletary was running the show, smaller frame guy, we brought in a bigger back. That's where Zach Moss comes in. Zach Moss was supposed to be that bruiser back, the business decisions guy, right? So when we brought him in, steal in the third round, we're like, okay, we got business. We got a double-headed monster in Devin Singletary and Zach Moss. Now, it's not the ideal 1-2 punch that you want, because you want speed and then you want power, right? And you had elusiveness and you had power, but you didn't have the speed in that backfield. So I think that's what we lacked. So in comes James Cook. So now you got 3 backs. And as a GM, you want all your draft picks to pan out. You don't want them, you don't want to fail. It looks like a failure, right? As a GM, it's a pride thing. So you want to extend and you want to give as much opportunity to your draft picks as much as possible, i.e. Cody Ford. Cody Ford got multiple opportunities to make something happen until they're like, all right, man, we got to cut our losses, man. You got to go, right? So James Cook gets drafted. Now we've got the speed, we've got the power, and we've got also the elusiveness. So one of you guys are going to have to emerge as the guy. They were pushing Zach Moss to be the guy. Even when Devin Singletary was there, they were either in touches, they were even. They even tried to push Zach Moss even more to be that RB1 because he had the size, he had good speed, he could pass protect. What's missing? He just didn't have the it. Therefore, you got to go. Zach Moss traded to the Colts. So now, what you gain in Damien Harris is what you should have had in Zach Moss. Zach Moss was supposed to be the guy that we needed to go between the tackles, pass protect, do all those good things, but he just didn't pan out. So went ahead and got Damien Harris. Damien Harris is what Zach Moss was envisioned to be, but it didn't pan out. So here comes Damien Harris. You're going to see the difference in Damien Harris. He will run between the tackles, and he will run hard. You guys have seen what he's done to the Bills. You guys have seen what he's done to other teams. It's just what he does. He's a solid back. He will do work. You see the size on this man. You see the size. He's got quickness. He's got lateral movement. He can pass protect. He can be a very good fit for this Bills team. It's going to be a wonderful 1-2 punch that you're going to have between Damien Harris and James Cook. Catch out of the backfield, and he runs hard. That is what you want. That is what you want. You want run hard, north-south type of runner, and you're not going to bring me down with one hit. James Cook, on the other hand, he's not that guy because he's got his own set of skill sets. We need this in his backfield. We don't need JA-17 with 11 carries and 12 carries and 13 carries. We don't necessarily need it. It's nice, but we were doing it because we didn't have that, you know what I'm saying, that bruiser back that can take the pressure off of Josh Allen. Now, I can speak on Damien Harris all day, but I have a guest that's going to come on here and give us a little insight on what we will be getting from Damien Harris. And without further ado, give me a thumbs up when you're ready, my man. So I got my man Ray Routh coming through. Ray, what happened was good.
What's going on? Sorry I'm late. I had a power outage here.
Listen, this is perfect. This is perfect timing. The segue was you couldn't have timed it any better. I'm not used to seeing Ray Routh with no hat on. What's going on?
Yeah, because I was freaking out because I had no power and I was trying to get on your show through my phone and it turned into a whole thing.
Listen, I actually appreciate it because I like Ray Routh with no hat. This is a new look. I'm feeling it.
It is. Hair's not even done.
I love it. I love when you guys do that. It's not even done. Let me just brush it over.
Let me just brush it over.
So, Ray, welcome to the show. I appreciate you. Friend of the show, who's been on the show multiple times. So this isn't new for you. My brother talked to me, man. Damien Harris to the Bills. I've been reading a lot of what Patriots fans have been saying. Some of them are sad, and some of them are like good riddance. You're broken down. You fumble the football. Is any truth to this? Because I didn't see this. So
All right,
talk to me.
So the fumbles happen in 2021. So let's just relax, okay?
All right.
And they happen, I think, in the first 4 games of the season. Mac Jones' debut against Miami, he fumbled on the goal line with like 20 seconds left in the game. They would have won the game for
I remember that.
Patriots. Yeah. 2021, week 1, Patriots fans. And then I think he fumbled again like week 5. Relax. I'm not worried about fumbles. So there's a huge pros. There's one big con with Damien Harris, and it's his durability. 11 games last year. I think he played 15 in 2021,
Yeah, he did.
and then 10 games in 2020, and that was the Cam Newton era when we really needed running back to be able to go with Cam. He's been a very good platoon back. When they brought in Ramondre Stevenson, the two of them ran very, very well together. However, he's going to the Buffalo Bills. Since 2020, the New England Patriots, even with Mac Jones, has been primarily a running team. Yes. A lot of touches, a lot of carries. Damien Harris isn't going to have to touch the ball 25, 30 times a game in Buffalo. We know that's not going to happen, especially they're going to platoon there the way every team platoons now. Nobody has a primary back unless you have Dalvin Cook or somebody of that nature, right?
Got it.
So I think he's a really good fit. He's a bruiser. Like, what did he average? Like 4.4 yards per carry last season. I think he's got a career 4.3 or something like that. I mean, the guy's amazing. He's an Alabama product. You know that Nick Saban likes his hard-nosed running backs too. Durability, again, concerns me, but it doesn't concern me as much in Buffalo because his workload is going to be reduced. And I'll be real with you, dude. When I saw, what was it, 1.7 million for the year?
1.7 million, man.
I just went, the Patriots couldn't match that. You know?
Right.
Like, so we're used to in New England just running backs just going through, right? They run their contract and then you get someone new. They got Ramondre Stevenson. He's a beast. They drafted the other kid last year. He's a beast. So I understand why Belichick moves on from Harrison because it was getting crowded. But then they signed what's his face, who's a pretty good back, but he's more of a receiving back. He's going to replace James White. I don't think he's really going to be there to really run the football, even though he's versatile. But let's stick with Buffalo. Yeah. I'm a big Damien Harris fan. I think he fits Buffalo perfect. Pisses me off that he went to Buffalo. Like, it's if you realize the AFC East, everybody's just exchanging players this year.
Absolutely. It's sickening.
we're the Miami Patriots now when you look at like all the way our team is starting to build itself up. But no, I think Harris is you've got Cook, you've got Harris, and because Harris did have some fumble issues and a little bit of young in his career, he can work with Cook, who struggled with some fumble issues and some ball security things in his young career. And I think that the two of them can work together. And now you've got two bruisers who can really take some pressure, I think, especially, my God, the games when you're up by 35. There's no reason Josh Allen should be running the football in the fourth quarter up by 35. You've got two running backs that can carry the load. And Harris is one of those guys. And don't forget, I mean, let's go back to the Win Bowl back when
I remember that.
The famous Mac Jones game where he went 2 for 3.
Yeah.
Damien Harris torched you guys that entire game. Torched you. And he torched a lot of teams that year. He beat up on that good Cleveland defense. I think he bull rushed and bulldozed Myles Garrett. Like he
had a great year.
Yeah, he can go, and he's a great player. He really, really is. And again, because I don't believe that he's going to have take the type of punishment like he did in New England, because you never say it this way, but he's protected by Josh Allen, and then he's not. I think his durability could be better. And then, of course, he can protect Josh Allen, so you can actually have a reliable bruising back who you can trust in those games, or a game like Cincinnati in the playoffs when they've taken, they've taken. Oh my God, my mind is blank. So the power outage just told me.
Pure Sean, you talking about the running back?
No, I'm talking about your wide receiver, wide receiver.
Diggs. I mean,
Diggs. That's Cincinnati did a great job taking Stephon Diggs out of the game. Really kind of disrupted Allen. That's the perfect time you start giving the rock to Damien Harris. You force the safeties to come in. You open up that backfield, and suddenly you're back to Buffalo's game. And that's where I think he's going to be the big difference maker, because you don't want to give up 12 yards a run. And that's what he'll do to you. If you want to drop two safeties back, and you want to play too high man, and you're going to get torched unless you have the best linebacking core in the league. You're going to get torched.
And here's my theory, and I want your thoughts on this. I feel like a lot of Bills fans feel like it's going to be Damien Harris is going to be the RB3. I sincerely believe Damien Harris is for sure RB2, and he's going to push for RB1 on James Cook. And I'm not saying he's going to be RB1, but they're going to split the carries because of what he brings to the table, the type of runner he is, and what James Cook is not. James Cook is a finesse runner. He is a in-space type of runner. When you want to close the game out, you put in a guy like Damien Harris and take away the pressure off of Josh Allen. So Damien Harris coming in, I really like this. I really like this addition. And you guys brought in Pierre Strong. So Pierre Strong pushed out Damien Harris. The injuries obviously didn't help last year. So Pierre Strong is going to be Pierre Strong and the Ramondre Stevenson combo, which I totally get. I think you guys got Kevin Harris as well as the catching back. But I like this move, and it seems as though we got a good one based on how you're speaking of this. As a Pats fan, when you see a Pats fan go, and you know this is a business, but when you see them, venture off not too far, they stay in the AFC East, they go to Miami, they go to the Jets, they go to the Bills. As a fan, are you like, man, go F yourself? Or are you like, hey, man, I'm not one of those players that it bothers. Go do what you got to do. I know this is a business. Or are you somewhat bothered?
No, but as you know me, I'm way more of just the more relaxed fan than a lot of morons that are true. Patriots fans.
Yep.
No, it doesn't bother. Kyle Van Noy, when he went to Miami, bugged the shit out of me.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, because he was a nobody in Detroit. He was almost out of the NFL. He came to the Patriots. Bill Belichick resurrected his career, and he talked a little bit of ish on his way out. He felt like he was a top linebacker in the NFL, and proved that he was a Bill Belichick linebacker that works on the New England Patriots and New England Patriots only. I've seen the same argument made for one of my favorite Bills, Jordan Poyer, right? Like, send him to another team. He may not be the Jordan Poyer that everybody loves in Buffalo, right? And I think there is something to say about team fits, system fits, and the players around you.
No doubt.
That one bothered me. The other guy, like Harris, the Patriots could have re-signed him. You know what I mean? Like the Patriots could have easily re-signed him, and they didn't. So, I was surprised. I thought he was going to be at least 2.2, 2.3 million. I couldn't believe the 1.7. That maybe bothered me. I was maybe looking at Belichick going, like, you didn't check out the market before you started, before you made the decision. But no, and I mean, listen, Wes Welker, Miami Dolphin, we traded for him, was just one of the most impactful players we ever had.
Big time.
Gilmore. You know what I mean? Rookie.
I'll tell you right now, first of all, I liked Gilmore when he was with the Bills. I know that when he got drafted, he wasn't super thrilled to be drafted by the Bills, and people want to say, no, that's just the way his face is. Well, he's got serious RBF, and I can't stand it. And when he went to the Patriots, I was like, I am done with you, sir. I cannot stand it. And I think it's a little bit more for me when they go to the Patriots than like Mike Gillislee. That one hurt. When y'all took Mike Gillislee and we didn't match it, I was like, ugh.
Yeah, well, you won that one. You won that one a mile.
He didn't play as well as he thought he was going to play over there.
Oh, God, I was so excited for Gillislee, too, and I was just I was so mad when you guys got.
I was like, and it worked out perfectly fine. But
so like Gilmore, Chris Hogan, former Dolphin, former Bill, right? Was probably one of the most important people down that run in 16 when they beat the Atlanta. Maybe not that game against the Falcons, but he was an important player that season, especially when Brady was suspended for those first 4 games and he was supporting Jacoby Brissett. And they call him 7-Eleven for a reason. He's always open. So to be that outlet guy, especially for young quarterbacks. So for me, and then we just got Mike Gesicki, we're finally gonna, and like Devontae Parker. Our red zone offense is going to be the best Miami offensive players that came out.
You guys got to figure out what you guys are going to do at quarterback, because McCourty was like, listen, man, the locker room was split. It was Bailey Zapp or it was Mac Jones. Which is it going to be? So you guys are going to have to.
Dude, I want them to make a run at Lamar. So I wrote off.
Everybody coming to the AFC East, number one. I'm sick of it. Everybody's making their way. Aaron Rodgers might make his way over here. Like, just can you guys go into another division for crying out loud? Let us have our run.
It's not might. He's gonna be here. No, I know, right? 20 years.
Yeah,
I fully admit that for 20 years there was not a lot of strong product in front of the Patriots as they were making
not a lot.
And I got to enjoy a lot of bad Bills teams and a lot of bad Miami teams and a lot of bad Jets teams. You guys get one run. The Patriots make the playoffs the next year with Mac Jones. Crazy. And now you got to deal with Tua, who's maybe coming on his own, but I mean, you got Miami's got one of the better defenses in the NFL.
They do.
And then you got the Jets, who have a just disgustingly underrated defense.
Oh my gosh.
Offensive weapons through the roof, and now you're gonna have Aaron Rodgers throw into
Bro, it's crazy. The AFC East is nasty. It used to be like it's just a joke. It was the Patriots and it didn't matter. Now that's a tough division. It's gonna rival the AFC North as one of the better divisions.
It really is. It's gonna
be Lamar potentially coming to the Patriots. I mean, golly, man.
Yeah, that's still my hope. Mac Jones, dude. You know what? Mac Jones is who Mac Jones is. I want to see him with Bill O'Brien this year, who can run that Josh McDaniels type of offense. I don't love the kid, but I've been convinced, at least by some different Pats fans who are kind of rational, who said he did okay with McDaniels. Give him a shot with O'Brien before you write him off. You know, Bill. You know,
absolutely.
My only the one thing you don't have to worry, all these rumors, like, the Patriots are a front runner for DeAndre Hopkins. Like, I don't know if anybody remembers what happened between Bill O'Brien and DeAndre Hopkins in Houston, but that motherfucker is not going to go play for Bob ever again. So
I can't see it happening either.
Don't worry about him coming to the division. But yeah, dude, it's first of all, congratulations on keeping Poyer. I thought that was a very important move for you guys to keep that defense intact, especially after losing Edmonds, right? Like, absolutely. that was a tough blow. Big draft for you guys. This year. And you're now starting to, this is the part, right? You guys had your fun with a low salary Josh Allen, and you know what I mean, and you got to bring in Diggs.
Facts.
This is the part now. You're always going to be in it because you have Josh Allen, and the same way the Patriots were always in it because they had Tom Brady. But I went 10 years as a fan without winning a Super Bowl, and I'm not saying that rubbing in, but I'm saying, like,
get it,
that 10 years. Yeah, they went to a couple. They had the end of that. Okay, go 2007 forward. Brady carried them through a lot of games. Maybe they had a really good defense, but I mean, I think I remember, they'll never forget the one year. I think it was after the Super Bowl, the second Super Bowl they lost to the Giants, and his starting wide receivers were Kendrell Tompkins, Josh Boyce, and Julian Edelman. Like, that was the.
I always thought they disrespected Josh. They disrespected Tom Brady by not giving him, but he still made chicken salad out of chicken shit. I don't know how he did it, but when you're the greatest, you can do it.
Yeah, and that's where you're at with Josh Allen now. But the Patriots, like, if you go to 2020 when they lost Brady, Cam Newton wasn't the only problem on the Patriots in 2020. People keep going, if we would have had Brady. I'm like, no, did you look at that team? That team was the results of 4 years of terrible drafting, because all of those players who were supposed to be coming into their own were nobodies. Yep. And when you're paying guys big money on other contracts, you need your rookies to come through. So it's I'm going to be watching this draft I want to see how your corner does this year. Your rookie last year, who seemed to,
yep.
A guy who I thought the Patriots were going to take. He was on the top of my list for the Patriots, but we took Cole Strange, made sense, first round, right? That's
listen, your GM. I'm not going to talk about your coach. I'm going to talk about your GM. Your GM. I don't know I don't know how he does his business. He's a great coach, but when it comes to picking the talent for his team, very shaky, extremely shaky.
And what I don't understand about it, to be honest with you, look at what he does in free agency. Like, look at when he brings in the Kyle Van Noy's, who fit the system perfect. The Marquise Flowers, the Chris Longs of the world, Gilmore, turns him into a defensive player of the year. It's like he knows how to evaluate free agents and knows, like, okay, that guy might be, Chris Hogan. Yeah, that guy might be the fourth receiver who's okay. I'm going to turn him into our number 3, and he's going to fucking kill everybody in the slot, and we're going to move Julian Edelman. I'm like, why can't you use that same skill set and look at the draft and say, hey, we'll take this guy and do this with him?
It's just not in him, and I hope that he fails even more this year. But I mean, everybody's got some pressure. Even Brandon Bean's got some pressure this year. We got to hit on it. But ladies and gentlemen, listen, Ray came through, gave us some insight on Damien Harris. Came through and gave us some insight on his Patriots. I mean, I want the Patriots to do well this year. Believe it or not, I want them to do well because right now it goes Bills, Jets, Dolphins, or Dolphins, Jets, and then you got the Patriots. And it somewhat feels good that you guys are at the bottom, so you guys kind of as fans feel what it feels like to not have a franchise competing. Although you still do compete, don't get me wrong, but just you're not on the level of the Bills, Jets, and Dolphins at this moment. But at the same time, I want you guys to do well because I want the division to be fun. Because I think the Bills right now are going to be tested heavily this year. They're not a shoo-in to win the AFC East. They're going to be tested. So why not?
Just admit it. It's always better when the Patriots are near the top,
right? It's always good when the Lakers are near the top. It's just good. It's good for business.
You know why? Because here's the thing, and I know you're trying to get me off, and I'll leave in a second. But here's the thing, man. Bills fans were punching at me all season, right? Like all season, all Patriots, blah blah. And I was like, yo, I'm like, punch up. Like punch at the Chiefs. Do you understand you're beating up on the 2004 Bills right now? Like
right.
Beating up on us? Like
leave us alone.
I see what's on the field, dude. I see what like you're not saying anything to me that's surprising me whatsoever.
And that is why I appreciate you because you keep it a buck always, and you're not too high, you're not too low, and you're even keel. And that's why I can always bring you on and you can give me the goods. So appreciate you always, man. Listen, let people know where, because somebody was asking, is this guy a Pats fan? They don't listen. This is a Pats fan. He is the Pats fan that I go to get the real goods. But let people know where they can find you and where your content is. You got the floor.
Find me on Crier Media, crier.co. I'm the sports writer over there. I cover the NFL for them. I write a lot of Bills content now, but I always work in some Patriot stuff into those things. That's my passion. I got a podcast called Around the Horn every Wednesday at 7 p.m. over on the Crier Media YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter. That's where you'll get my most outrageous takes at DPN_Ray. And I'd like to talk a lot of shit to Bills fans, so we have fun.
There it is.
I have more, just for your audience who doesn't know me.
Yeah,
I'm like the Patriots guy. I used to be the Patriots guy at one point, and 80% of my fucking followers on Twitter are Bills fans, and we just talk shit to each other all day. But as Rico said, it's all fun and games.
It's all fun, man. It's all love, always. My man Ray doing his thing, and I'm sure we will definitely chop it up sometime this season, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Rico.
All right, man. I appreciate you. And that's my guy Ray. Comes through always showing love. And he's one of the level-headed Patriots fans. There's a lot of dickhead Patriot fan out there, and he is not one of them. He can be, but he's usually level-headed. And right now, he's gotta eat humble pie right now because it's Patriots. I tried to be nice to him by saying I hope they do well, but I hope they eat shit because they made the Bills eat shit for a very long time. And I was trying to be nice to my guest, but now that my guest is back, I'm gonna talk shit behind his back. But yeah, man. F them Patriots, F the Jets, F the Dolphins, every last one of them. That's the way I roll. But anyway, but you guys got a little bit of insight on Damien Harris. A lot of these fans talking about, oh, he's injury prone. I mean, injuries happen. That's part of the game, right? Maybe that's why his $1.7 million that he got is based on, hey, can you stay healthy? But here's the beautiful thing. Ray made a great point. He's not going to be getting 22, 25 touches, right? That's not the offense that we have here for our running backs. If he's lucky, he gets 11 to 12, which sickens me. But that's just the offense that we have here with Ken Dorsey. Ken Dorsey doesn't value the RB position like some people do in some places. But this is not the NFL for that bell cow back, right? There's only a handful of those bell cow backs that you can keep in the game all day long. We don't run that type of offense. We just don't, right? When you got a guy like Josh Allen that will eat into the touches, I hope he eats less, but he will eat into the touches. Then you got a speed back in James Cook. You got another speed back that catches out of backfield in Nyheim Hines. And now you got your every down type of back in Damien Harris that can catch, that can pass block, that can do all those things. I mean, if I look at his pass blocking grades for his career, let me just go back to it. I mean, you will see him a lot on third downs. I'm going to tell you that right now. Like he's got, according to PFF, like week 1, 74, 76, 77, 72, 73, 74. Like the dude he did extremely well. He averaged 70 and above. for pass blocking grade. So you will see him a lot on the field. So kudos to the Bills on signing Damien Harris. It's big. I hope that we come in and we start to solidify ourselves more in the run game. I think it's necessary. I think we owe it to Josh Allen. I think we owe it to the offensive line. We can't just keep making Josh Allen the staple. You know what I'm saying? And although he is the franchise, he is the face of this team, but you got to protect your asset. Now he's worth $40 million a year. You know what I'm saying? You can't be just, trotting out your $40 million man when you got a running back stable that's able to handle the load, right? They will let them do what they do. You don't need to continue to run down our franchise quarterback. It isn't necessary. Now, it's ingrained in Josh. He's going to want that rock. He's an alpha freaking male. He's an alpha athlete. He's going to want that rock. But this is where Ken Dorsey comes in and says, hey, brother, I know you want to do this. I'm going to sprinkle in a couple runs for you, but we're paying these guys for a reason. We drafted a second rounder for a reason. We just paid this guy 1.5 for a reason, 1.7 for a reason, right? So let's find a way to get these guys the ball in the right scenarios, the right situations, and that way we can go back to being, or we can strive to being, a balanced offense. And because a lot of times we weren't balanced, we were unbalanced because we always leaned on 17 to do it all, right? 3rd and 7, right? Can't find what he wants. Guess what? Guess who's taking off to get that first time and taking a shot at the same time? So we got to manage ourselves a little better, in my opinion, and go from there. Now, here's the thing about Damien Harris coming to the Bills too, right? Not only will he not be getting as many touches, so it's going to save his body, but we have a very good medical staff, man. Although last year's injuries were out of hand, which is an anomaly because we normally are a pretty healthy damn team. The last several years, if you look, the weight room is one of the best in the league. We got one of the best medical staffs. You saw what happened on the field with Damar Hamlin, how we acted, and we got him, and he's going to be playing football again. Like, we got a great squad. So him coming over to the Bills, it's a good fit. It's a very good fit. So I like this Damien Harris signing. Kudos to Brandon Beane. Is he done? The question is he done? Is he done with making moves? Is he done until the draft, right? It's not like we have a whole lot of money left. You know what I'm saying? We're probably sitting at 11 mil, if that. So do we make another restructure? Who do you restructure? I really don't want to restructure Deion Dawkins. I really don't want to restructure Trey White. I really leave those guys alone. Do not kick the can down the road for those two brothers. So where's their room, right? So shout out to Damien Harris coming to the Bills. I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings to the team. I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be fun that we got a bruiser back that can punish a lot of these defenders, because you're gonna have to now make a decision. Do you want to stack the box? Because if you stack the box, you already know what's gonna happen. Diggs is gonna eat. And which brings me to segue into my next topic, is the receiver room. And we just brought in Trent Sherfield. And Trent Sherfield is a surprise addition. He is one of those things. He's one of those players where he's been around the league, played for the Cardinals, went to the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins fans really appreciated him. They liked him a lot. And he's at the point now where the fact that he's on the Bills, it's got these Dolphins fans kind of bothered. They're like, damn, like, we really thought he was going to come back. But the Dolphins were like, we're good. They got Easy Q, whatever his name is over there, and they really love what it is. So we shall see how this plays out. But what does Trent Sherfield bring to the Bills, right? We already know about Deontay Hardy. We know what's good with Deontay Hardy. We know he's a smaller frame guy, 5'6", but what he brings to this team is speed, and rack. The ability to catch that football and do crazy work. Now, I can speak on Sherfield, but I don't know Sherfield well. And that's why you have to have friends around the league. You got to have friends that know these players very well. And there's only one person that I trust that can give me the goods, and that's my guy Kevin, which I'm going to give my man Kevin a call right now, and Kevin's going to give me a few minutes of his
Hello?
time to talk on it. Kevin, how are you, my man?
Not bad, buddy. What's going on?
I'm very well. Are you eating your Szechuan Chinese food right now?
I am, yeah.
Excellent. How was it?
It was pretty good.
Not bad. Not bad. I like that.
It's not bad.
I like it a lot. Well, listen, man, I'm not gonna keep you long. I said I was gonna keep you a few minutes. I need the goods, man. Give me the goods on Mr. Trent Sherfield. What he brings to the Bills, what you will miss from him from the Dolphins, and how Dolphins fans are truly feeling about this. So let's start with this. What did he bring to the Dolphins that you guys like so much?
So, man, I'm on the phone. I feel like Jeff King.
What?
But
Jeff King, you
man.
bring it like Jeff King. Jeff King brings it every time. So you got
no.
big shoes to fill.
Yeah, no one can bring it like Jeff. So Sherfield. So what he brings to the Dolphins?
That's right. What did he bring to the Dolphins that you guys appreciated about him? Although it was
his
short
blocking.
Talk to
Yeah, he's an elite. I know it's not sexy, and I know people don't really tend to care too much about it, but like it's hard to understate how good of a blocker he is. Like he was a better run blocker than our tight end. So like we would like sub out usually Gesicki, who's not a good tight end, but a good blocker. So we would sub him out and put Sherfield in to like block. Like this dude will come back and hit linebackers. So he's really good for that in the red zone. That's probably where we're missing the most. He's a good special teamer, like punt gunner. Like he played on 4 special teams, punt protector sometimes. Like he's very versatile in that role. As a receiver, to me, he's more of like a slot guy.
Is he? He's more of a slot guy. Okay.
Yeah, he's not like super fast. Like he's got decent speed. He had that one big play against the 49ers, so they show that highlight over and over.
Of course.
But other than that, he was more of like I know what'll piss Bills fans off. He's more of like reminded me a bit of a Jarvis Landry. Like a shorter possession guy.
Okay.
But I mean like tough. You know what I mean? Like he'll catch the ball, he gets rocked, and he keeps moving. So
and he's not a small guy. He's not a small guy either.
No, he's a good size. Yeah. So he's he's not like a vertical threat, but he has some ability to run after the catch. But most of that number was inflated by that one catch against the 49ers.
Okay, gotcha.
Good hands, except for when he dropped the touchdown against you guys.
I remember that.
Still a piss off. Yeah. But other than that, he's got pretty good hands. He's not afraid to get hit. So like he's good over the middle. He'll take the shot and usually come down with it. So that's to encapsulate in a nutshell. That's pretty much it. Like he's special team standout, elite run blocker, solid hands. If you guys ever threw a perimeter screen, he'd be actually you do sometimes the digs. He'll be really good on that.
I like that.
And then that third down, you need the guy to go across the middle. He'll catch it.
I'm a big fan of that. So my next thing to you now becomes him coming to the Bills. And you somewhat know our depth. Obviously, it goes Diggs and then Davis, and who knows if Shakir takes that third spot. So, is he receiver 3, receiver 4? Does he even make the squad? Is it one of those situations? Like, talk to me. Like, what are your thoughts on him and where he fits his depth? Can he push to get more playing time? What are your thoughts?
Maybe. It depends on, it's hard to say how well Shakir's going to develop, right?
Right.
He showed flashes, but then I assume there's also a reason why he wasn't playing so much. If he was really good, would they have brought in Beasley? I don't mean overall, I just mean in his progression as a player last year, right?
Right.
You normally sign a guy and put him in your starting lineup like 3/4 of the way in through the year for no reason. So I'm not quite sure, but if just based on like some of the other guys, I assume he's going to make the roster because you do need, those guys that can cover your kicks.
Yep.
Picture like a better receiving Jake Kumaro. You know what I mean? Like
gotcha.
He gives you a little bit more of the receiver room than Kumaro does. It's hard to, what's his name now? Hardy. Yeah, Hardy, right? Deontay Harris is Hardy now. Hardy's got more like he's more of a vertical threat, but Sherfield's going to be more physical. So it's a tough to see how that pans out, because if I were the Bills, I would covet the vertical guy a little bit more, considering that Gabe's more of a bigger body guy. Shakir's a quick lateral guy.
Yep.
So Hardy's kind of like your John Brown role, right?
Absolutely. And Johnny, my man Johnny Blaze comes in and says, Sherfield, I mean, obviously a big time special teamers. That's what we're just speaking on. He has 741 snaps over 4 years and produced 28 tackles. He finished inside the top 50 in special teams tackles each of the last 3 seasons. So, I mean, obviously he's going to be a big part on the special teams. We're already stacked on special teams. Tyler Matakavich. Now we've got him. We've got Saran Neal. Kumaro most likely is gone. I think he got signed. I'm not even sure if he got signed or not, but I know he ain't coming back. And Tywan Jones, I mean, it's like death, taxes, and Tywan Jones is probably going to be signed to the Bills once again to be special teamer. So who knows how that plays out? But it is what it is. But Kevin, obviously, I'm gonna let you be in, eat your Chinese food and be with your lady. But I appreciate you always, buddy. And when you come to Halifax, we're gonna chop it up, man. We're gonna have some fun.
Sounds good, buddy.
All right, buddy. Have a one.
All right, take care.
All right. And that's my guy, Kevo, always showing love to the Buffalo Fanatics. You know, man, that's you guys know Kevin, Papa Peck, Mr. Kevin. So good addition. A good addition, not a crazy addition where you're like, oh, he's gonna be that dude. Because a lot of times when we have someone new to the team, Bills fans start making things up in their mind that this guy's gonna be that dude, right? I mean, Deontay Hardy, I saw somebody say Deontay Hardy's gonna be receiver 3. Oh, Khalil Shakir's chop liver now. Deontay Hardy comes in, he's now receiver 3. So we start to kind of get a little out of whack a little bit. Let the camp play out, let all those things play out, because you just never know. Sometimes someone emerges where you're like, where did that person come from? Right. So we will see how that plays out. But I'm so glad that my man Johnny came through and gave those stats. I mean, 741 freaking special team stats in the last 4 years. So he knows his way around special teams, and that's the way you got to make these teams these days. If you show what you got in special teams, you have an ability and an opportunity, to make a squad and get an opportunity to get on the field, right? And that's what happens with Trent Sherfield. So the Trent Sherfield signing is a good one. I'm not like, oh my goodness, what I'm saying? It's just a nice piece added to the squad. He's going to be a contributor on special teams, I'm sure, and he'll make his way onto the offense here and there. Do we stop pursuing the receiver position? Heck no, we don't. We still have to pursue the receiver position, because the last time I checked, the Jets have a very damn good defense and 2 solid corners. The last time I checked, the Dolphins just locked down, 2 solid corners, and Jalen freaking Ramsey's coming through, and he's going to bring an extra bit of sauce to the Dolphins. So we got some work to do. And if you think for 1 second that we should be satisfied with Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis and Khalil Shakir and say, you know what, let's run it back with the regular folk, nah, you got another thing coming, because you got to give your guys some help. You know what I'm saying? Because they will double team Stephon Diggs, and now we're gonna find out what's really good. So I don't want to find out, because I know what we got on Gabe Davis. I know, and I'm not saying it's as a bad thing. I know what we have in Gabe Davis. I don't know what we have in Khalil Shakir, and that's the thing. I mean, I was going back on YouTube, and I saw something where they compared Khalil Shakir to light Deebo Samuels. He's Deebo Samuels light. So great comparison. I'd like to see more of it. So maybe we get that aspect of his game this year coming. And he plays outside, he plays inside. So we'll see how this plays out. But I, for one, am not giving up on bringing a receiver to this squad. But I don't want to just talk about this thing by myself. I got to bring on my brother, my guy. And he just has to give me the thumbs up, and I'll bring him on. And we go on from there. So, ladies and gentlemen, Revy Rev.
What's up, Rico?
What is going on, boss man? How's everything?
Man, everything's good, man. How you doing?
It's good to see your light-skinned face, brother. Let's
Oh,
go.
you know.
I see it. I got to read the super chat real quick before we get into our chatter.
yeah.
My man James come through with a super chat. What up, James? James is Canadian. I can tell, because obviously you see the CA. And they always charge us a little more when we do super chats, don't they, James? I hate that. Anyway, but I appreciate you always, James. Rico, what's your plan for our linebacking core? Right now, we have the smallest linebacking core in the NFL. Wagner, the draft, preach it. What does that say? Does it say Lindmans?
I have no idea.
I'm not sure what you're trying to say, but I know you're trying to fit it in the characters. I apologize if I'm butchering it. But let's talk about the linebackers, and I'm glad you brought that in, because right now I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this right now, man. I was talking to Bobby, and Bobby's like, "Well, with these moves that we made in free agency, running back, 2 receivers, we patched a hole on the O-line with McGovern. It only makes sense for us to go and get a linebacker."
Yeah.
So let me just tell you, let's talk about who we have on our squad. Milano, Tyler Matakevich. We've got Mr. Bernard, right? Mr. Bernard sounded like a damn substitute teacher. Hey, yo, somebody was like, "Yo, it's like Mr. Bernard, settle down, class." You know what I mean? That's what
that's what he looks like.
That's what he looks like. So we got Bernard in the building, and then we've got Balin Spector.
And Tyrell Dodson, we signed back again.
A 1-year deal with Tyrell Dodson, which Tyrell Dodson is a damn good linebacker.
Yeah, man, no sleep.
When he got his opportunities to come in the game, this guy he had like over 10 tackles in every time he jumped in the game. So he's no scrub. But we lost a perennial linebacker. Perennial? Can I say perennial?
Did we?
We lost a very good linebacker.
Did we, though? I was about to say,
we lost a very good linebacker in Tremaine Edmonds.
Yeah.
Tremaine Edmonds is about to do work in Chicago. So right. we can't just fill the void with the undersized Bernard. We can't just fill the void with lack of speed in Tyrell Dodson. So what are we doing at this linebacker position? Are we drafting linebacker? Is there a linebacker in free agency that we should still pursue? The more days that pass, the better it looks, and the better it will be for the Bills. So guys like, for instance, Bobby Wagner, which hasn't been picked up yet, the longer he goes on the market, the more chance he's going to take that 1-year deal, and it's a cheap 1-year deal. Yeah. So are you in on a free agent linebacker? Or, man, let's draft and get someone young and go from there. And I have not looked at the prospects, so I'm going to apologize to everybody. Don't ask me what prospects do you like. I haven't dived into that just yet. But if you have, talk on it. Is there any linebackers you're looking at?
Yeah. So I hear everybody talking about, hey, well, let's go get Bobby Wagner and the free agent market and this and that, and while I get it, I understand it, but I think that's why they signed Tyrell Dodson. I think Tyrell Dodson is the free agent linebacker that you get. Bean is he's not gonna spend money on a linebacker in this offseason to really come in and be the middle linebacker replacing Tremaine Edmonds. He's not gonna do that. I think he brought in Dodson because he's familiar with the scheme and played very well on spot duty when he had to. And I think what he's gonna do now is he's looking to replenish that position with youth in the draft. I think because there's a few guys in the draft, namely a couple of guys that are really at the top. You got Drew Sanders from Arkansas, and the guy that I really like is Jack Campbell from Iowa, who the Bills can get either in day 1 and day 2. And I think they're going to look to plug one of those guys in as their middle linebacker. I really like Jack Campbell. That's if you haven't taken a look at him, I highly recommend you go check him out. Yeah, Jack Campbell from Iowa.
Golly,
from Iowa, from Iowa. The guy is.
Thank you. I would have thought the same thing.
When you look at a lot of these linebackers that are coming out now, there are the smaller stature, right? They're about 6'1", 6'2", 230 and some change. And so you kind of you miss the size that Tremaine Edmonds brought with 6'5", 250, 255.
Right.
They don't really make those kind of linebackers anymore with that athleticism until Jack Campbell came out. Jack Campbell he's every bit of 6'4", 6'5", 250. Okay, he's a big boy. He's a big boy.
He run.
And he can run. Yeah, I think he ran a 4.6.
He's not slow.
Tremaine Edmonds ran a 4.5. So I mean, what's a tenth of a you're right about
that. You know what
I'm saying? So and he doesn't have the same length as Tremaine. But I think arms are like maybe 3 inches apart. I think Tremaine had like 34-inch arms, and this guy has like 31 and some change or whatever. But where you see Jack Campbell, in my opinion, excel especially when you look at Tremaine when he first came in, is in his instincts, his read and reaction, his instincts. This guy is a phenomenal instinctual linebacker. He can go downhill in a hurry. He reads plays very well.
I like that.
But he also can go sideline to sideline and can drop back in coverage very well. So I love him. He's not a burner. But I mean, I see like David talking about David Stevens says but he's slow. Tremaine Edmonds, man, like he wasn't like this burner linebacker. You know what I'm saying? Like he just wasn't that guy. And so I think they have the speed in Milano. But having a guy like Campbell, he can play. He played middle linebacker in Iowa. He just has the chops, man. He has the mental aptitude. He has all of that. He has the instincts. He's very smart, very intelligent. And he's a big dude. So you're not gonna get a smaller linebacker like let's say the size of Matt Milano or smaller and be compromised in the run game. You know what I'm saying? So like this guy can be stout. He can be stout on the run and he can play coverage. So I really like Jack Campbell a lot.
What say you about people that are like, I'm sick of us going defense. Mm-hmm. We go defense every freaking time in first round. Can we knock it off already? And I ask you this because if for some reason it gets to pick 27,
yeah,
I think we're picking 27, right?
Yeah, 27.
And you go through and are you taking BPA? And by BPA, you see the name Bijan Robinson sitting there.
Oh man.
And I had to ask myself this question today. I was like, what would... So I just signed Harris. I have a second round pick in James Cook on the team going into his second year. I just traded for Nyheim Hines. And now I have an opportunity to draft I can say, I'll use this word for now, a generational type running back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you skip on that because you've got 3 running backs in the backfield? Or do you grab the short talent that that can take this offense to another level and take the pressure off of Josh Allen, take the pressure off of this defense, and take the pressure, quite frankly, off of Ken Dorsey? A lot of times when you have a running back that can run the football, catch the football, it takes a lot of pressure off of your offensive coordinator because whatever this guy does with the football is gold. So he's there at 27. This goes for the chat.
Man,
this also goes for the chat. At 27, the Bills have an opportunity to grab Bijan Robinson. Do you pass on that because of what you have right now and what you signed? Or do you say, you know what, best player available, I got to grab him?
That's so hard, man, because like Harris complicates things, right? But at the same time, when you look at it, he's only signed for a 1-year deal. You know what I'm saying? So he's not guaranteed any time behind past this year. But man, like dude, that's hard, man, because if you were to draft Bijan, like what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Because you have to give Bijan enough carries to justify drafting him in round 1.
Correct.
You've got a guy that you just drafted in round 2 a year prior, and James Cook, who has to get carries. And having Bijan, is going to stunt the development of James Cook and really make it look like, why did you even draft the guy in the first place? Damien Harris is sitting there. You just spent some money for him. I think it is as hard as it is, and man, I love backs, dude, and especially a guy like Bijan. I think you have to pass, man. Like,
wow, I did not.
I think you do, dude. It's tough, man. Like I don't want to, and I don't even want to be in that position. To be honest, man, because it really complicates the backfield unless you're willing to put a guy, inactivate him. Like Harris, you just spent $1 million, so however much money you spend on him, and you just deactivate him, for the whole year. Like that's the only way it really makes sense. But does it though? Like that's tough, man.
So, and here's the thing. Jack. Scott Blakely he's on my ass. So here you go. How do you get Buffalo Fanatics commentary excited? Talk about running back in the first round. Well, here's the deal. I got my heart broken last year when
I know
Breece Hall went to the Jets, right? I was heartbroken. I was like, no, I invested my time in my, my resources and looking them up. Anyway, but when you have a LaDainian Tomlinson type of back,
that's hard, man.
Bijan Robinson. If I were to tell you this is LaDainian Tomlinson, no, but we have Harris and we have James Cook, and we don't know what James Cook is going to be into. Honestly, because at 190 pounds,
right.
He's not going to be your bell cow back ever. But this is not a league of bell cow backs, right? You don't have that. But do you pass on that? To me, you don't pass on that shit. You take
That's
that.
tough, man.
Take that if he's your best player available, especially when you look at what we're doing. Where do we lack in that game against the Bengals? We couldn't do diddly.
We had no ground game.
We couldn't do diddly squat offensively.
Mhm.
It wasn't because our defense couldn't hold up. I mean, we had our moments, but like we just couldn't match up offensively. They just had us. They had us, and we just had no answers. The one person you can somewhat not have an answer for is a running back because they're so unpredictable. You can never know what this running back's going to do because it could break out any moment, right? So we solidified somewhat the offensive line. You gotta grab a Bijan Robinson at 27, but
it's a tough.
You don't take
a tough
a running
decision,
back
man.
in the first round.
Oh, I don't care about that. I would take a running back in round 1 easily, especially at 27. That's
Especially
not
at
even
27
an issue.
because that's
That's not even an issue. Bijan, man, he's a generational type of back. Let's just say he's one of the best ones to come out in a very long time. It would be extremely hard for me to pass on him. It would be tough. Like I would.
It is tough.
I don't know,
man.
man.
I asked you a question.
Yeah.
That's why I asked you a question.
But there's somebody that I do like. Of course, he's not Bijan, but this is me assuming Bijan is not even going to be there. Okay,
He's probably not. Probably not.
Yeah, it's this guy right here, man. It's Roschon Johnson. This is backup. And so like, and Roschon is a 6 foot 220, 4'5" guy. He's a pounder bruiser kind of running back too, man. So if he's there, you can probably get him mid to late rounds.
We'll see.
We'll see. But Bijan there it's going to be tough to turn. It's going to be tough to pass on him, man.
So let's kind of flip the script a little bit because we got some good news to share. Jordan Poyer has returned. Jordan Poyer is back. And quite frankly, at the beginning, I thought he's as good as gone. He is as good as gone. And then a little birdie told me that, listen, man, he don't think that he's gone, man. There's a very good possibility he comes back to Buffalo because that's where he actually wants to be. But he's got to do what he's got to do to go see what he's got out there. Were you surprised that we brought him back? And were you surprised at the money we brought him back at? We got him for 2 years, 12 mil. I think we got him like 7 mil guaranteed.
I wasn't surprised at the money or the fact that we brought him back. I was surprised that he actually came back. I thought it was a foregone conclusion that he was gone. I just didn't see a way, especially. I mean, I thought the market was going to be even better, for Poirier, and it kind of sucks that it just wasn't, what he may have anticipated earlier on. But I thought he was gone along with Tremaine. I knew Tremaine was gone. And Jordan Poirier, I just thought, especially the talk and the conversations, and then you have his wife talking. I just thought for sure this was it. Bean didn't sign him; he didn't extend him in the year. He's just going to go ahead and let him walk and try to test it, hit the draft. So when he came back, I was extremely shocked and surprised. And then the numbers, I was like, okay, this is not bad. I mean, I really hated for the guy because I think he deserves a lot more than that.
Right.
I think he's only getting nicked just because of his age. To be honest, not for his play, man. Like his if you erase his age and you just look at his play, he's worth well more than what he got paid. You know what I'm saying? So, I love it because I was on record as saying that Jordan Poirier is the defensive leader of his team. He is that guy. He's the emotional leader, but he's just the defensive leader. Like it wasn't Tremaine Edmonds, it was Jordan Poirier, and we saw it last year. The Bills were undefeated when Jordan Poirier was playing until we got into the playoffs. And, he's just that valuable to the team. So to have him back with Micah Hyde, assuming that he's going to be back, fully healthy and everything's going to be good, that is a huge, huge sigh of relief for the defense.
It is a sigh of relief. And now him coming back and Jordan Poirier solidifying it with Micah Hyde coming back off an injury, there's still a lot of question because you got a safety that was banged up. 32. Yeah. He's going to be 32 years of age. Did he take a step back last year? I don't think so. I thought he played pretty damn solid. Obviously, nicked up. Obviously, you're going to have some issues. Micah Hyde coming back from injury. There's still, it feels good, but there's still some uncertainty back there. So we need some certainty. And the biggest void in our defense is the middle of the defense, which is a linebacker position. And I got to go back to it because we need to address that heavily. Because if teams are going to listen, you got Breece Hall in our division, you got Ramondre Stevenson, and you got Pierre Strong that's going to be running the rock really well. Patriots always run the ball really well. You got the Miami Dolphins that ran the ball well last year. They're going to run.
They're going to eat in the middle of the field.
Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert coming back.
Yeah.
Listen, we need a general. We need a field general in that. If we have to grab a guy like Jack Campbell that you were mentioning, I think it's necessary. Terrell Dotson, although cool, with the type of firepower that's coming our way, I just can't see it happening. And I'm looking at, and I want to take a look at the free agents. And I'm just pulling this up right now. Let me see, where's my free agent? There we go. I'm looking at the free agent linebackers available, still available. And I can't see them generating a lot of money right now. I just can't. Let me just hold up on the position here. Linebacker. Let's go and check this out, because obviously Bobby Wagner is probably cream of the crop,
right,
when it comes to that, right? So you got, let me see here, boom, boom, boom. So man, Tremaine Edmonds got $18 million a year.
Yeah, Tremaine got paid, dude. Like I'm looking
at that, I'm like, golly, man, unbelievable. So, anyways, I just saw Tremaine Edmonds' name, and I was like, holy crow. So here's the deal: you got Bud Dupree still available. He's outside linebacker. We can't have it. We don't need that. Deion Jones. I somewhat heard us talking about Deion Jones, but smaller linebacker, safety converted to linebacker, not happening. Bobby Wagner still available, right? And I'm looking at inside guys. There's not a whole lot. We might have to actually hit. I mean, you got Denzel Perriman, but he ain't that. So like
that's what I'm saying. Terrell Dotson was that guy.
Yeah. We really might have to just hit that draft and really go hard at it. So yet again, Bills will be going defense in the first round.
And I'm telling you, man, like, am I a fan of it? No. But when I look at what Bean has done so far in free agency, and then looking at kind of the where you anticipate some of these prospects to fall in the draft, of course, it's a crapshoot, right? But man, when you look at it, it's going to be very hard not to find a defensive player, especially a guy like Jack Campbell or Drew Sanders out of Arkansas sitting there at 27, and you not select him. I know we've been going defense, but it's not like they're doing it on purpose. It's not like they say, you know what, defense round one is going to be it. No, man, I think had free agency gone a little bit differently, then I think offense would have been it. But I felt like this free agency, they needed to go all out and get as much offensive weapons as they could, and then fix the defense, in the draft. Especially at linebacker position.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. He's not gonna. He may not. But right now, the market value they're saying on SpotTrack is about 10 mil, like 9.3.
Is this for Wagner?
For Wagner. I don't know if I'm ready to pay $9.3 million for a middle linebacker at age 32.
You know what? I'm done with SpotTrack, man. Because I'll tell you why. Because earlier, like a few weeks ago, bro, I was doing my show, and I had made mention of what I think the Bills should do in the free agency. And I said, you know what, they need to reallocate the money that they would spend on Tremaine Edmonds and Jordan Poyer and put it on the offense. SpotTrack had both Poyer and Edmonds at 11 mil average annual salary. 11. Tremaine Edmonds busted out at the window. 18. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't even close. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. So
it is tricky.
I think they're very conservative on their numbers.
Some guys get underpaid and some guys get way overpaid.
Yeah. I think in Tremaine's his age, yeah.
But here's the thing, man. I'm looking at this, and if we do sign Wagner, great. Maybe he's just not the fit that we need. Maybe they're trying to find a way to get something a little different from what Milano brings to the table. A little bit more of a thumper, because that's what we lack. Nasty.
Yeah. We
lack nasty. And Tremaine Edmonds was a good linebacker, but he wasn't
nasty, man.
He wasn't nasty. So we need some nastiness. We need a guy that, I'm not saying there's nobody like Ray. Ray Lewis.
Let me show you this.
That. Yeah, show me what you got.
Let me show you this, man.
You're not gonna get
this is Jack Campbell.
This is Jack Campbell.
This is Jack Campbell.
I haven't seen much.
Jack Campbell. Yeah, that's it. Look at him drop back in coverage, man. All right, so much. Interception. He's a big boy. Again, 6'5", 250. Ran a 4.6. Tremaine ran a 4.5.
In a Buffalo defense with Von Miller coming off the edge when he does come back, Greg Rousseau, Jack Campbell could. With a name like that, man,
there's a few guys, man, on Iowa that I think the Buffalo Bills will be highly interested in. I think there's some good ones. Jack Campbell's one of them. Just check him out again, man. Look at him. His instincts, bro. Now watch him drop back in coverage. Check this out. playmaker.
Jack
He's
Campbell,
got-
huh?
Yeah, man.
And so we got to figure out if he's taking any visits to the Bills, and that's the thing, right? We got to pay attention to that because that's very important. How
I
many
think he
teams
has.
he visited with, and has there been
Yeah.
formal visits? That's the big one that we got to see. But linebacker, I feel like a lot of people are like, "Oh, we're sick of going drafting a defense." Listen, whatever makes this freaking team great, do it.
Yeah.
Whatever makes the team great. If they feel good about what's at running back position, especially with who's calling our plays, and they need to solidify that defense, and you bring that nasty, then bring it. Bring the nastiness.
Yeah,
That's the way I look at it. You can't go. You don't want to do. You don't want to skip on that. You don't want to skip on that if that makes your defense better. If it elevates everybody else, especially because we're buttoning up the back with Boyer and Hyde, and you got to bring in a nice young back.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's
You see that
nasty,
play right
like
there,
you
man?
say he is, shit,
Like I love
bring
that
him
play
on.
right there because he's not going to get washed up by the offensive lineman. Look at Jack Campbell right here on the right side. Look, he just boom, reads, reacts, and attacks it, dude. And this dude is strong as an ox, man. He's everything that Tremaine wasn't. Yeah.
Listen, I don't mind. He ain't fast, like I said. He's not a burner, but like you don't need a burner at
no, but especially when you got instincts. Yeah, no,
right about that. You'll be in the right place, right time.
Yeah,
you'll be right.
And he's not making a whole bunch of false steps like Tremaine did. This dude is running back on special teams. Check him out.
Jack Campbell, huh?
The dude is a baller, man. He's a player.
Is he falling to the 20s? And that's the big one.
Oh yeah, some people say he's a second round pick. I don't think he's going to be there. I don't think he's going to be where Buffalo will be in round 2, which is why I don't necessarily mind them drafting him at 27. If like the value is there, like if offensive players off the board, like there's nobody really there offensively worth drafting at that point. I'm either going to try to trade down, or I'll just take Jack at 27 and be done with it. And you get your guy that you want without even having to worry about it. This guy's a plug and play guy.
I like it. Scott Blinken says he's a farm boy, man. You're not moving that man easily at all.
You're not, man. You're not.
Whatever the hell they feed them boys out the Midwest or wherever these guys are from, man. You're right though, because I know the country boys are different.
Yeah,
them country boys, man. They can eat a dozen eggs, and
they're different, bro. Now that's where Epinesa came from. But AJ something. I think. Well, anyway.
Listen. Iowa, like I mean, they produce some players out there. You know what I'm saying? So you can't hate on that. I mean, Breece Hall, didn't he come from Iowa?
He came from Iowa State.
He played on Iowa, for crying out loud. So I mean, they got.
Well, he was in Iowa, but Iowa State, different team.
Iowa State, whichever. I thought they just Iowa State. I'm sure they're in the same area. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
but
yeah.
Either or, I haven't done any research whatsoever on these linebackers. I've been in free agency, but we're tailing on the end of free agency. So I'm now going to start to dive into the draft talk and all that good stuff. But Jack Campbell, definitely going to be paying attention to that for sure. But listen, folks, we got some holes still to fill. Linebacker is one of them. I still feel that we still need to hit the O-line. We did bring back David Questenberry. A lot of people are hating that we brought back David Questenberry. I don't mind it whatsoever. We have a player that's able to play left and right. Did you see Spencer Brown play left tackle? Never again. He's got to stay right tackle and remain at right tackle. So we need that guy that can go left and right. Questenberry is going to be in the system for the second time. A lot of people are upset that, hey, he's the one that got Josh Allen hurt. Well, guess what? Listen, players get hurt all the time. They get hurt all the time. And it just
Questenberry he's playing left tackle, man, and that's just not his position.
I mean, listen, he was playing for Deion Dawkins. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? You gotta cover up. But nonetheless, the way I look at it, man, we got some plays to fill, we got some holes to fill. O-line I feel like they're not done in O-line. I still feel they need to draft a O-lineman. I still feel they need to go and get a receiver. Receiver is not done. You need to go get some receivers in the draft.
Do you really? I want to ask you some questions about that, man. Like, so do you feel like the Bills receiver room is
complete?
Is incomplete?
It's incomplete. Yes.
So you've got Diggs. So where do you, if they draft a receiver, where does he slot in? Because you've got Diggs, right? And then I don't think Bean is ready to give up on Gabe Davis yet, even though this is his last year of his deal. And then you got Khalil Shakir. Are they going to make the same mistake by ruining the development of a draft pick, and then like they've done before? So
Brandon B made it very clear that he's not a in the moment type of guy, and I'm paraphrasing here, by the way, but he's not an in the moment type of guy. And what I mean by that is like right now, draft this and get this and get this. He's not on Rams. He's not on the Rams page. We need to do it right now. He's about the future as well. I'm not trying to mortgage everything now and screw my future. So you got Stephon Diggs. That's got 2 more years on his. I mean, he just extended, so he's going to be with us for a little bit, 3 years. Gabe Davis, we don't know if we're going to bring him back. He's got to take a giant leap to find out what's going on. And I can tell you right now, if he's going to have a good year, I know he will, and he's going to demand to get paid. Are we going to pay him? Highly doubtful. So that's why you got to. So I can assume he'll be gone next year. Then Khalil Shakir will step his game up. So now we'll have Diggs, Shakir. Deontay's on a 1 year, most likely. You've got Sherfield on a 1 year. So like we're gonna be depleted next year. So you got to get your guy now. So at least you'll have Diggs, Shakir, and said rookie, and then fill the needs as you go.
So do you draft him in round 1? Do you think?
Well, this is where does the talent justify you drafting him in round 1? Now, keep this in mind. You have to draft for what's in your division. You're going up against Xavier Howard, and you're going up against Jalen Ramsey. You're going up against Sauce Gardner. You're going up against DJ Reed. I think it's DJ Reed on the Jets, right? And the Patriots are the Patriots, right? They got some decent. I think they just brought back Jonathan. I forgot who it was. They brought.
I don't know who they brought back. I can't
remember. They brought back one of their guys. Their top corners. So you gotta draft for your division. You got 2 teams that are coming for your neck, and they know where to get you. Stop Stephon Diggs. And now let's see what Josh Allen's about. And then we'll neutralize you and keep going at you. So you can't stop there. You gotta go and find your receiver, whether it's the first round or the second round. You gotta go and get him. Do not neglect the receiver position. I'm not swayed by Hardy. I'm not swayed by Trent. You need to show that you are building for the future as well. So you need to get yourself your receiver. Now,
do you think that position could be filled? I mean, because we talk about like offensive weapon, right? A receiving weapon.
Yeah.
Does it necessarily have to be a wide receiver, or can you see him adding another tight end? Because
I saw your comment.
You saw it, yeah. Because
I saw your comment.
This is kind of where I'm thinking, man. Like we saw like this time last year when the Bills went and got OJ Howard, they had an idea, a vision in mind for multiple tight end sets, right? Formations. Just because OJ flamed out, I don't think meant that they scrapped the plan. I still think personally that's probably, I don't know where on the priority list, but I still think that's part of their vision. And this is a very, very, very good tight end draft class coming out, man. And so like for me, if it boils down to like the top tight end or the top 2 tight ends versus 4th or 5th wide receiver, because those guys are going to come off the board early.
Yep.
I would be just perfectly fine with getting one of those tight ends, man. Like if Michael Mayer from Notre Dame drops, he's exceptional. Darnell Washington, big boy from Georgia, big 6'7", 270, big old dude. Somebody like that. I wouldn't be, because I think if you add him, I think it actually makes your offense more dangerous because it makes you more multiple. And then you've got Knox, because let's say if Knox get injured, like who are they going to put? I mean, I know we like Morris, but like Morris is not like the type of tight end that Knox is. So they're still going to need somebody.
More reason that you draft yourself a receiver. More reason that you draft yourself a young receiver, because now we spread it out. We may not need to go with a tight end, right? We can go 4 receivers, 3 receivers set and call it a day. You know what I'm saying? And get James Cook out in there at the slot. And there's so many things you can do. So to me, and Quentin Morris, I'm not saying Quentin Morris is anything special, but Quentin Morris could be on the come up. And Dawson Knox going down would be totally unfortunate. And I get what you're saying, because you need to find ways to supplement and help your offense by in the middle of the field and you're having a blanket. But that's not the type of offense we got. Like we are trying to air it out. We're trying to, put it on you. And
I think there's another dimension of the offense that we haven't seen yet that they want, but they don't have the personnel to run it.
So then if they wanted to do that, and this is why I'm looking at the free agency, if they really wanted to attack, I don't know how deep this tight end class is in the draft. I don't think it's deep, because we would have been hearing a lot of names, but we would have went after a guy like Dan Arnold. I think that we were interested in Dan Arnold last year. I think we would have went after a Mercedes Lewis, although a little older. You don't really need a 38-year-old. But I'm just kind of giving an idea. We could have went after an Irv Smith or a Kyle Rudolph, guys that have kind of done some things in the league. So there are some opportunities to get some guys. Max Williams is available right now. Jesse James is available right now. Both 28-year-old tight end. So if they really wanted to kind of go do some, they would have went out there and did it. I don't know how deep this tight end class is. We'll see. Scott Blakely says something that I think that is probably going to be done. If we don't like anything in that first round, trade the heck back and gain picks.
No, you need to try trade back. Yeah.
Trade back and gain picks. I was about that trade back game last year. If we're not going to get, because I want to Breece Hall. If we can't get Breece Hall, trade the heck back. And we traded up. We did the opposite. We traded up. So we'll see how this plays out. We're about to find out. There's a lot of things that this team can do and directions they can go.
Look out for tight end draft, man. I'm telling you, I think it's gonna happen.
Tight end. Listen, I'm gonna be paying attention now that I'm diving a little deeper into the draft. Now that the free agency is kind of dwindling down, and we don't have a lot of money because
let me give you some guys. Let me give you some guys.
I will look for it.
All right.
And with the money that we have, I think we're probably sitting at 10 mil, if that.
Yeah.
If of that 10 million, 6 of that, or is it a little less than that? I think between 3 and 6 million has to go to our draft picks.
It does.
So
and then a little cushion throughout the season.
We might not be doing a whole lot unless there's another big restructure coming. May not be doing a whole lot. So draft is probably what we're getting prepared for. So trading down might be the best thing, and then we accumulate that way. But Scott Blakely made a joke saying, "Yeah, we should definitely trade down." Wait a minute, he doesn't even use his draft pick, so what's the point? So you ain't lying, brother. You are not lying. So we'll see how that plays out. But listen, folks. Listen, there's a lot of things that need to be talked about. Johnny Blaze comes in and says Sam Laporta is a guy.
That's a dude, man.
Rounds 2 to 3.
That's earlier when I said there's about 3 Iowa players that I think Bills are going to have their eyes on. Sam Laporta is one of them. He's a tight end, extremely good tight end. Yeah, if you watched him even at the combine, he tore that thing up, man. Like Sam Laporta is a very good tight end, big guy too, 6'5", 245, something like that. He got incredible hands. So yeah, I like him.
I got it. So I got to start diving deep. My man Bobby was like, "Yo, you guys are talking about Bijan Robinson all day. You guys need to be talking about Jahmyr Gibbs out of Alabama."
Jahmyr Gibbs is nice too, man. But he's
about like 5'11", 200 pounds. So that's not a bad little back as well. So I mean, shoot, there's so many directions we could take in this draft, but we do have to address the linebacker position based on what I see, what's available right now in free agency. Are we content with Tyrell Dotson taking over? Are we content with Terrell Bernard in the 3rd draft? I'm still puzzled by the Terrell Bernard draft in the 3rd round. I'm still puzzled by that. But either way, maybe they know something we don't. But there's a lot of things that this team needs to do. We'll find out some more, and we'll go from there, man. Shout out to Morning Mayan. She says, "Thanks for the live show. Appreciate both of you guys. We appreciate you, man." And let me pull that up for everybody. See, we appreciate that very much. So we're going to start to dive a little more deeper into draft talk as the shows come and go. And we appreciate that. Do we have any more big hits that we'll be doing in free agency? Highly doubtful.
I don't see it, man. I don't see it.
We might be tapped out, man.
Yeah.
We tapped out. I think that's it. I think we've
done.
Filled what we need to, because that's what free agency is about. Free agency, you just got to fill some spots that you can, you know what I mean, not let any leaks into the boat. And then you go into the draft, and then let's go. Let's fill it. Let's patch it up a little more, and let's fill the boat with some goods, and let's take it to free agency. Let's take it to the off season, and let's get to camp, and let's do all the things, and then now let's battle it out. But I ain't sleeping on the receiver set. Joseph Riley says, "Yo, Christ fed a multitude with one fish. He needs to work with the budget." Yo, you know what? Okay, I don't know if anybody's watched this the movie Friday. I'm sure a lot of you guys. When I think Smokey's mom says, "Yeah, I need you to go get me a pack of cigarettes."
Oh yeah,
but he says you're paying. She gives him $1, and he goes, "What am I gonna do with this?" And if people know what the line that she says, she goes, "Make it enough." So guess what?
Yeah.
Brandon Bean, you gotta make it enough. You gotta make it enough when it comes to
man.
the draft, and you gotta make it enough with that $8 million that's sitting in your pocket. Make it enough, mother
Got
effer.
to. He's got to, man.
You got to,
He's
because
got to.
right now, I guess Pagula is like, hey fam, this is the money we got. You got to make it enough.
My bucks are tapped out, bro. You done spent all the
Go
Pagula
get
bucks.
me my damn cigarette, aka go get me my damn Super Bowl. But we don't got enough, Brandon Bean says, and he says, Pagula's like, make it enough, mother effer.
Make it enough.
Go get me my damn.
I'll find somebody who will.
I'll find somebody who will. You better make it enough. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for us. I appreciate my man Rev coming in. I hope that hit. Did that?
Oh yeah.
Did it a little bit?
Scratch a little itch, man. Scratch a little itch.
Yeah, we're gonna continue to do this up, man. So, folks, have yourself a great evening. We appreciate you guys always tuning in with us. We had my man Ray came through and gave us he shed some light on the addition of Damien Harris. And I also had my guy Kevin via phone call came in and shed some light on Trent Sherfield. So nothing to write home about. Nothing like, oh shit, look what we did. We didn't do anything special this offseason, guys. We, like Brandon Bean said, no big splash. There are some, and I'm before we get out of here, there are some receivers that are out there that are worthy of you know what I mean, talking about. And the one that stands out is OBJ. OBJ is still out there. There are some good receivers still out there that maybe we may make one more addition if we don't like what we see in the draft. I mean, shoot, Marvin Jones still available. Byron Pringle still available. Who we got? Kenny Golladay, big bust out of freaking the Giants, still available. OBJ still available. So there's some names out there that are still available that we could, if we wanted to bring in one more name just for competition purposes. But really and truly, I really do feel that we need to get onto that receiver, whether it's first round, second round, third round. If the value's there, go ahead and do it. But if we need to trade back, golly, trade back and get some picks, and then we can Brandon Bean can do what he does. You know what I'm saying? So Rev, appreciate you always. You know what it is. Brother. And
appreciate it, man.
we gonna get it up. By the way, people, I'm gonna start getting back on Facebook. The Facebook police decided to disable my account. God knows why. I have no idea why. So I had to recreate a new Facebook account, which is weird. So now I'm sitting here adding people. I hate adding people, but I had to do all. Hit me up on Facebook, and we'll go from there, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for me. And Rev, I think you'll like this because I started the show with this, and I'm going to end the show with this because a lot of folks we just don't know. And I had to represent because this is my jam, and I'm always going to play this type of stuff. So this is how we end it, folks. You guys have yourself a great night. I know my man Jeff King would appreciate this.
Oh yeah, he would.
Hey, sometimes you know when you with the lyrics and you start messing up the lyrics.
Black folks do that, man. We come in on the hook.
You just like the song so much, you try to sing it up a little bit. Anyway, folks, you guys have a great one. Enjoy the evening, and we will catch you again. Hopefully, I'm going to try to get back on Friday. I've been trying to give Friday to my family, and since we're in the off season, you know what I mean, but like that itch hits me and I want to get on the mic. So we'll see how that plays out. So folks, enjoy yourself, enjoy the evening. Rev, appreciate you, Russ, and we'll chop up again. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Rico, it's your boy Rev, and we are gone. Let's go.
You won't do for love. You tried everything, but you don't give up.